right. Test, 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 test. Make sure I am make sure I am audible. Make sure y'all can hear me. All right, man. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday so far. Man, I've been busy, been crazy in my household and all kind of things going on, but I am live once again. I am going to be discussing something that I think a lot of people in Montgomery, Alabama, and people other cities and states, I think they will appreciate it as well. Because the same issue that we're seeing right here, people in other cities and states are seeing the very same issue where they live. So I'm gonna give it a little bit, and then I'm gonna get started. But I hope everybody's having a good day so far. We're finally having a little bit of fall weather. All right. It seems like every time the fair comes around to Montgomery, Alabama, we tend to have this cool breeze hits the city. We have 70-degree weather. It's like 60 degrees in the morning time. I don't know what it is. Something about that fair, man. That fair brings in the nice weather. And my family, we went to the fair this past Saturday during the daytime. We left around, I guess, like 6 o'clock in the evening time. Um, right as the younger crowd was coming in, I mean, they were flowing in heavy. We had to get up out of there, let the young folks have their time. They gonna do what they gonna do. But we had a great time at the fair. There was no issues while we were there. I kept my head on the swivel. I always got to keep my head looking, keep my eyes going around the crowd, see if I see anything a little crazy. Make sure my family's good, but we were good. We had a great time. Kids enjoyed themselves. We were there with a couple of our friends and their child as well. Great time, great time. But let's get to the topic. This has been a long. This has been, I would say, a issue that has plagued Montgomery really since 2020. If we're gonna be real, all right. And I can't do anything but be real and be honest, all right. And I hope y'all don't mind. I'm on the phone right now. My mic went out. My mic to my I put in my laptop to do my show. It went out, so I can't use my mic right now. My mic is gone. R.I.P. to the mic. So I'm on here doing it on my phone. The show goes on, right? Now, like I was saying, this issue with homelessness has plagued Montgomery, Alabama since 2020, really. And nationwide, we've seen we have seen the homelessness issue be discussed and be talked about. It seemed to have increased. It seemed to have grown as an issue right across the country, and it coincided with what the shutdowns, right? When the whole COVID-19 pandemic occurred in 2020. From that, we saw homelessness seem to spike. There are other issues as well that I'll mention later on that has also exacerbated the issue, right? Has also played a role in the homelessness issue crisis getting to where it is right now, especially in Montgomery. I want to talk really more specifically to Montgomery because this is where I live. This is where a lot of y'all watching live, and we're seeing the ramifications. We're seeing the the problems that occur as a result of the homelessness. We're seeing it in real time every day that we get in our cars and go to work, take our kids to school, so on and so forth. Um, Now I want to say this: my heart goes out to any person who is really in a homeless situation, who really has to live out of their car, who is really doing the very best they can do with what they have. They just hadn't gotten to a place in their life where they can have an apartment to go to, or a mobile home, or a house, or whatever the case, right? Because some type of event may have happened in their life. Something may have happened where didn't foresee it happening, whether it be a medical emergency, whether it be a child that they lost due to some type of event, whatever the case. People deal Things happen in people's lives, and they have to deal with what they have going on at that time. They have to deal with it the best way they can. So my heart goes out to those who really are living in a crisis situation, and they just so happen to be homeless, right? And for those people, you know, the resources are out here, and shout out to them who are actually seeking those resources and taking advantage of them and bettering their situation. Now, with those people out the way, because to me, those people right there are the few and the minute amount of people that we see out here on these street corners and whatnot. The people who are really living out of their cars and who are really homeless and who are really struggling and are really trying to better themselves, but just aren't able to do it, they don't make up the majority. All right. They don't make up the vast majority of the individuals that we see hanging around all times of morning, day, evening, and night in Montgomery. Okay. Now, the city, the city of Montgomery. So when we're dealing with homelessness, there's a few different facets that you have to address, right? And I'm not a person who's a professional counselor or professional community, whatever the person. Y'all know all these people who they do their thing for the city and all that stuff. I'm sure they know everything there is to know about homelessness, right? Which is why they can fix the problem, right? Um, but I'm just gonna tell y'all, just be real about just having common sense, having some education as far as a formal education, going to college, getting a degree, taking sociology, learning about community development, which I have a minor in. Um, I majored in sociology, so understanding people, groups of people, why people think, how they think, and all that type of thing. I am formally educated in that area, and I've lived enough life to where I can see the issues and I can see how to better the issue, and it's not really that complicated. Now, like I said, there are several different facets to dealing with homelessness, right? So number one, when the city of Montgomery decides that there aren't enough nonprofits, there aren't enough churches, there aren't enough resources out here for these people in Montgomery to reach out and get help, right? So then they created this place called the Hub. The Hub just opened up like what 2 months ago or something, and that's supposed to be like a one-stop shop for people who are in a homelessness crisis situation. They need housing, they need clothing, they need food, they need, I guess they can help get a job and all kind of things, right? I haven't seen any type of any change in the amount of people that I see out here on these streets since that place opened up, right? So if you're going to deal with homelessness, if you're going to deal with it, what we need to do is there should be a team of people. Doesn't even have to be government. Like we always want the government to come in and just make sure everything is good, make sure everything clean everything up and fix all our issues. Right? The government is terrible at doing that. Right? We've seen that. Leaving things up to the government is not a good idea. So, but there are organizations and there are individuals that I know for a fact go out here in these streets and they survey these people, they talk to these people, they know how many people are in their families and they're homeless or whatever the situation is. They keep tabs on what's going on with these individuals. Now, what needs to happen is that should be relayed over to the city, and the city should be able to uh, help the organization if they need to. Right, they could be a collaborative thing where the people who are really real deal in need of help, right? Because they got kids that are out here living in the streets. eating out of trash cans and whatever the case is. Those individuals should be streamlined to a resource center, right? Whatever that resource center is, there are a plethora of them. Okay, I work at a place where I deal with these individuals in these streets all the time, and I have a bunch of sheets of paper, right, like a little packet with it has names of other churches, of nonprofits, of all kind of places, food pantries and everything, where I give these people and say, yo, if you need help, depending on what your need is, it's on here. You're gonna find it on this list. It's a list of places, addresses, phone numbers, everything, right? It's a list of places. So the individuals who need it, they should be streamlined to go to those places and get that help. Okay. And I think that's what's happening. I think the people who are really needing the help are going to these places and getting that help. Now, for the people who are out here, you're riding down Atlanta Highway, you're riding down Taylor Road, you're getting off the interstate, and I don't care what exit, Ann Street, Chantilly, Taylor Road, it don't matter, Perry Hill Road, it don't matter what exit. There are people, the people that's hanging out there with the signs and all that stuff. Most of those individuals are not hard on their luck. They're not, down bad because, oh man, I lost my job. Last year I got laid off, and I'm out here for a few weeks just trying to get myself back on my feet, and boom, I got me a job now. I'm off the street. That's not what's happening. We're seeing the same people day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. The same people that have been there for years. Okay, so they make up the vast majority of the individuals that are homeless, quote unquote homeless, right? Now, what do we do about those people? That's the issue, all right? Because like I said, the resources are there for those mamas, the single mamas out here that need the help, dads that need the help, whatever the case. A teenager is, you know, 18 years old or something like that, got kicked out of the house or whatever the case. They need help. They have resources. They are there. We don't need the government to come in and help. There are a plethora of places in Montgomery that help homeless people. Okay, we have to stop acting like that's not there. Now, like I said, the people who are hanging out on the street corners, what do we do about them? Well, here's what needs to happen. Here's what needs to happen. They need to, well, number one, the city of Montgomery should be enforcing the law that stands on the books as it is right now, right? Mayor Reed said, man, the gun violence is due to the Alabama legislature. The state has dropped the ball and they have allowed everybody and their mama to be able to carry a gun and da, da, da. All right, cool. You want to blame the state for that? Okay. But what about the law that the state gave you as mayor of Montgomery, Alabama to enforce the panhandling law? What about that, Mayor Reed? You've completely ignored that law as if that don't sit there. Like it's not there. Like it's not allowing you to clean up the streets. So what should be happening is you should have a task force. I don't, whatever. Y'all figure that out, right? I'm not a police officer. I'm not the mayor. But let's just be honest. It don't take that much to get this done. You create a task force, whatever the case is. You go out there. You tell these people, look, you got a couple of choices. You can hang out here and stand up here all day and night, right? You can't go to work, all right, cool, but you can stand up here 10 hours a day, okay. You can do that, and you're gonna go to jail as a result because you're panhandling. That's against the state law. You can go to jail. You can come with us, and we will streamline you to a resource center. One of the many that we have in Montgomery. Resource centers out there, yin yang. All right. We'll streamline you to one of these places. They'll see about you. We'll get you a job. We'll get you whatever the case is. We'll get you on your way to not being out here on the streets. right? You can do so. You can go to jail. We can streamline you to a resource center, right? That's what it should. That's what it should be. That's what should be happening. But that's not happening. It's not happening. And on top of those options, a lot of these people, let's be honest, again, let's be honest. I know it can hurt feelings. I know people can be like, oh man, it's not everybody. And I didn't say it was everybody. If you watch the live back again, I clarified and I made it clear at the beginning the differences in homeless people. There are people who really need help, and there's people who choose to be out here in these streets, right? I'm talking about the people right now that choose to be out there. A lot of those people are drug addicts. They're using heroin, they're smoking whatever, all kind of stuff. They're shooting up things that I probably never heard of. All right. That's a lot of these individuals. And when you police those individuals, right, who are just hanging out, and you go to Carmichael Road and they're like in packs. I mean, literally, if y'all have not been over to Carmichael Road at 10 o'clock at night, I recommend you don't go over there. But if you just happen to be in the area on your way somewhere, look around. Look around right there by the Taco Bell, the Waffle House, the gas station on that corner. What's that, Exxon or whatever? Look around and see what you tell me what you see. They are in packs. They're like a wolf pack. It's crazy. They move together. It's people with and what are they doing? They're huddled up behind the gas station, and they're probably over there, man, probably doing some everything, probably doing some sexual stuff. They're probably shooting up some drugs, smoking stuff. They're probably making illegal drug deals. They're probably uh buying and selling illegal handguns and all kinds of stuff. All this going on. So if the police were allowed to go and clean them areas up, it would just change the dynamic of the area. It would change it a whole lot if you clean up these people off the streets. That's what is not happening. That's what's not happening. What's up, Shoemaker? Shoemaker 083. What's up? Appreciate you. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. Man, um, that's what needs to happen. And I've been pretty vocal in saying this very same thing for like years now. I've been saying this for years. Since 2020, when all these people was starting to flow out into the streets, I was saying it then, like they need to do something about this. And they have not done it. And like I said, Mayor Reed wants to hide behind the state law about the permitless carry and blame that for the gun violence, but you have a state law that you can deal with panhandling and you don't do it. Right? And as a result, we got people that's creating trash. Man, shout out to David Humphrey. David Humphrey posted a video, I want to say 3 days ago, where it's a couple of guys, well, it's three guys in particular, that have pretty much set up shop. They live on Burbank Drive. All right, Burbank Drive at Atlanta Highway, right between the Chevron gas station and the Sonic. All right, if you know, you know. It's an old guy and two younger guys. Man, they practically live there in the median. I'm talking about there's a road on this side and a road on this side, and there's grass in between. The grass in between is where they live now. They're there all the time. Morning, noon, night, you see them there. They might leave a little while, go whatever. I don't know what they do. Go walk down the Atlanta Highway somewhere. They come right back. They got umbrellas out when it's hot, when it's been hot and sunny. They got an umbrella up. They got they've had a tarp. They got shopping carts. They got all kind of stuff, man. They got clothes and blankets and all. It's crazy. How are we allowing that to be? How are we allowing individuals to live on main thoroughfares in the city? Like, who wants to have their child with them? You take your child to the zoo or something, right? To a ball game, and you gotta ride down the road and you see people with tents and shopping carts and trash everywhere, and that's what they see every day. How can that boost your child's morale and for wanting to for seeing the good in people? Like you want your children to see positive things in life. You don't want a 3, 4, 5 year old to see grown people living like that. And mind you, a lot of people don't have to live like that. They get government assistance. They get EBT food, EBT cash. They get housing vouchers or whatever the case. They have homes to live in. Most of them have homes to live in. Y'all y'all see them on the street and y'all are like, oh, poor them. They are living good for the most part. A lot of them are living good, fine. The drug issue and the mental health issue is why they're out there, right? That's what's going on. But who wants their child to see that, man? I can't. It infuriates me. It frustrates me to a point where I have to explain to my kids on a regular basis. Man, look, that's a grown person right there. You don't want to end up like that person right there. You do not want to be out here on these streets living like that. That's why you work hard. That's why you serve God. That's why you treat people with respect and you honor people. That's why you learn from people. That's why you want to grow as a person. You don't want to end up being a slave to a drug or some type of mental health issue, right? And you end up like that. I have to talk about this all the time because it's in their faces. They see it all the time. I can't stand that. I cannot stand having that conversation all the time with my kids, right? And when I was growing up, I didn't witness that type of stuff all the time. I grew up in way worse conditions than my kids. My kids grew up. Kamala Harris. My kids do grow up in a middle class home, right? They grew up in a. I never lived in a house my whole life till I was a grown man, right? Facts. My first time living in a house was I was a grown man, grown married man, right? So my kids are growing up way different. But even I didn't witness the type of filth and just negative views of Montgomery the way my kids are. It's crazy. It's crazy. Uh Shout out to D. Shout out to D on YouTube. Shout out to Shoemaker. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. And everybody that's on Facebook as well. I don't see if y'all commented, man, I don't see it right now. I'm on my phone doing it, so I do see my YouTube people that's commenting. So shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Um, Make sure y'all share the video too, man. Y'all hit like it, share the video, and you know, y'all know how I do, man. I can't do anything but be real about it. I can't do all this fake stuff. I can't act like this is not an issue. I can't act like we can't have something done about this. This is not the life that I want to see for my kids to have to see. I don't want people to just think that it's okay, it's normal to see dozens of people up and down major highways in Montgomery begging for money. And they've been out there for 3, 4, 5 years. Like, you ain't raising enough money yet? Come on, man. Like, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let me tell y'all something I saw this morning. I was finna pull out my phone and take a picture of this because to me, this would have depicted what I'm talking about right now with kids and whatnot. I was riding down, and if y'all know what I'm talking about. I was riding down, what is that, Carter Hill Road, wherever JD is, JD High School. Well, now it's called Jag High School. Right there where Danley Elementary School in that area. There's a lady, there's a lady who apparently is living in the streets. Every morning I pass, she's out there. She has a bunch of wagons and baby strollers. She got like literally like 10 of them. It's like 10 wagons and baby strollers that she got in a line on the sidewalk. All right. This morning, she was parked. She had all her strollers and wagons right in front of Danley Elementary School. And she had a chair that she was sitting in right next to all her line of baby strollers and wagons and all the trash and all stuff that she's accumulated over the however long. She just sitting there. There's a crosswalk lady that's directing traffic. She's out there. Kids walking to school. She's smack dab in front of Danley Elementary School. So when the kids are getting dropped off, what do they see every morning? This random lady living on the streets, got all her wagons and baby strollers right in front of their school. How is that for school pride? How is that for pride in Montgomery, Alabama? I thought we were supposed to be, ain't this the capital of dreams? Or is it the capital of nightmares? Because if I'm a child and I see that every morning, what kind of faith do you have in humanity? You know what I'm saying? Like you're 5, 6, 7 years old going to elementary school, and you see this lady out there every day, like it's just normal life, nothing else to see here. Like it's just she's supposed to be there. Like what, man? Again, again, man. I know there's people who are really down on their luck. Not talking about them. I'm talking about right now the people who are choosing to live like that. And then I'm talking about the city who's not doing anything about it. Coming up with a symposium and a summit and having whatever meeting and whatever conference and all that stuff they want to do. And we're going to talk about setting up a committee that they deal with the homeless. Like, man, y'all been talk. All y'all do is talk, right? I do more than y'all do. And I'm just one individual. Because not only do I talk to you guys, right, but I deal with people on a regular basis. Like I said, I work at a place, I have a job where I deal with these people on the street on a regular basis. And I have conversations with them. This is how I, this is how I further know a lot of them are choosing to be out here. When I talk to a guy, I talk to the guy that's over here off this guy is usually on Atlanta Highway at Perry Hill Road. Skinny, older guy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I talked to him like 2 weeks ago. I said, man, why are you out here? Like why you gotta be out here every day? Man, it's just tough on me right now, man. I ain't been able to get a job. It's hard to get a job. Da, da, da. I said, man, people hiring all the time. What do you mean? Well, it's just hard, man. It's just, I'm overqualified and this and that. Okay, well, how long? When the last time you had a job? 2013, 20, 2013. Y'all, I almost lost it. I said 2013. You ain't had a job in 11 years. What kind of job have you been trying to get? Like, and then he's like, yeah, man, I went to school, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, what you went to school for? I went for culinary. He said culinary arts or whatever, culinary whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, and y'all, I had this whole conversation at the light. By the way, I'm at the light and I'm waiting for the light to turn green. So I'm talking to this guy real fast, like trying to figure this out. I said, so what school did you go to for your culinary degree or whatever? Oh, it's an art school and this. I'm like, yeah, which one? Like, there's art schools all over America. Which one did you go to? Y'all, he didn't even know. He didn't want to tell me what school it was because he probably lying. You know what I'm saying? I know what school I went to. I can tell you every elementary school I went to, middle school. I can tell you what high school I went to, what year I graduated, what college I went to. I can tell you all the information. Ain't nothing to think about. It's like he's trying to withhold information. And I was like, man, look, I said, look, at the end of the day, I ain't giving you no money. I said, man, I wish the best for you. I wish the best for you. And I had to go because now by the time the light is green, I gotta go. Y'all, 2013, man, you lost a job in 2013. You ain't been working since then. You can get up every day. I see this man out here every day in the same spot. He's out there for hours and hours and hours. You got time to do that and have your hand out. Hey man, I just need a little help. Little got my little sign up. Anything helps, man. What'll help you the best is for you to go get a job. It's a gas station right there, buddy. I know they probably need some help at MapCo, whatever that is. Gas station. It's a wing stop just opened up right there. Right there where he's at, it's like 10 businesses. It's a Pizza Hut right there, a Zaxby's. You can't tell me you can't go somewhere and do something. You can't clean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to clean nothing, sweep, mop. You can't flip burgers and cook wings. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Come on, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about you overqualified. No, bro, that might have been a thing back in 2012 or something. Bro, nowadays, man, everybody needs some help. Yeah, all these businesses need help. They not finna turn you down like that. Come on, man. I can't deal. I can't deal with some of these people, bro. That's why I'm saying a lot of these people, they are choosing to be out here. They get government assistance. They have a home to live in. They just want to take money. They want to take y'all money because a lot of them have habits. They got habits they need to fulfill. They got to, they got a certain hunger and a craving for something, and they got to get that quick money, go on and get that little, get that hit or whatever the case is, and then they right back out there, all over again, all because the city of Montgomery just decides, hey man, y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all do what y'all want to do, man. Mayor Reed don't give a crap about the people of Montgomery, Alabama. He can say all the fancy words. He can come up with all this lingo and he can speak all passionately and all that stuff. None of that matters. What matters is what are you actually doing? And when it comes to this homeless issue and this whole crisis going on, that we see all these people out here, he's doing nothing about it. He has done nothing about it he's been in office for 4 years, right? Really, 5 years. He got in 2019. He been in there for 5 years. He has done nothing to deal with this issue. Has it gotten better or worse? I mean, I say it's got worse. I would say it's got worse. You know what I'm saying? And then again, shout out to David Humphrey, because David Humphrey made that video that I was talking about the guys earlier that live on Burbank, right? He posted that video, which I see the guys every day because I pass them all the time. I see him all the time, every day. He was posting pictures. The sanitation department was out there cleaning. Y'all, man, I'm finna lose it right now just talking about it. These people are living on Burbank Drive. They have accumulated trash around them. Who's picking up the trash? Not them. Nope. Where you live at, you pick up your trash, right? They don't pick their trash up. The sanitation department, City of Montgomery Sanitation, was out there picking up the trash around them. Did they have to move? Nope. No. Hey, man. Hey, the City of Montgomery said, look, yo, we know this where y'all live. This y'all 10 square feet of home right here, right? We're going to pick up the trash for y'all. We're going to keep moving. We got more trash to go pick up down the road. There's some more homeless folks down there by Walmart. We're going to go pick up their trash too. Like, what? What are we doing? What are we doing, Montgomery? When the sanitation department is picking up trash for the homeless folks and they ain't got to move. They can just sit right there and accumulate trash and have all kind of needles and all kind of stuff out there. And then when till the sanitation come around, and then they don't come around but so often, right? Because it takes money and it takes manpower to have to go out there and do all that cleaning up. Like that's some heavy cleaning, right? Like I said, they live there. That's what they've been living for at least. We're in October. Those men have been living in that spot right there. I know 2 months at least. At least 2 months. At least 2 months. Let's see here. YouTube Shoemaker on YouTube said, "What is your Facebook?" The Captain's Quarters Show. The Captain's Quarters Show on Facebook. It'll be the profile picture is me with a red shirt on. All right, me with a red shirt on. The Captain's Quarters show, man. Go like that page, follow that page, and shout out to everybody that has. I got like 150 likes, 270 something followers. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for doing that. I'm just speaking the real. I'm speaking the real, and I'm trying to be a voice for some people who don't really want to talk about stuff out loud like this. I don't mind. I promise y'all, I don't mind. Like I said, I have conversations with people all the time in person. I'm not just online. I'm a real individual. Like I really got a heart, and lungs, and you know what I'm saying. I got kids, a wife, and I'm a real person, right? I have a job, so I talk to people in real life, and I hear their stories, and a lot of it is a bunch of crap. But I hear their story. I hear them out though. You know what I'm saying? I hear them out. Let's see here. Where else are you? Where else are you live? I think you mean like where do I live? I live in Montgomery. I live in Montgomery, Alabama. I was raised here. This has been my home since I was like 5. I've been in Montgomery since I was 5. I did leave and go to North Carolina for school, graduated, and I stayed in North Carolina for like another 2 years. So I was up there for a total of about 8 years, something like that. But all the while of going to school and being up in North Carolina, I was back in Montgomery on a regular basis. So it's not like I was like away and I just was gone for 8 years and I came back and like didn't know what was going on. I've kept up with Montgomery. I've been in Montgomery my whole life. Um, you know what I'm saying? I really love my city. I really want to see my city grow and prosper and be a lot better than what it is. I would like to see a better Montgomery. Shout out to them. Um, and so unfortunately, we have a mayor who does not uh, care about the city like that. He doesn't want to see the city get better in these ways and really deal with these problems that are plaguing us. And a lot of the issues, he brought it on. You know what I'm saying? He brought these issues on and he don't want to deal with it. It's easy to make problems, right? And then you just keep telling the people, "Oh, it's a problem right there. We're gonna take care of it. I got the secure. I got the cure. I got the solution." That's what he does. Creates the problem and then says, "Oh, I got the cures, the solution," but then never presents it. Um, we're in North Carolina. That's where I live. Man, shout out to North Carolina, man. I went to school at UNC Pembroke in Pembroke, North Carolina, which is about 40 minutes south of Fort Bragg down I-95. And then once I graduated, I actually lived in Fayetteville off Scarborough Road. Yep, man. So I've been yeah, man, North Carolina is a very near and dear to my heart, man. I loved North Carolina. Might move back up there once my kids get grown or whatever. I might move back there with my wife. Might be all might we might die up in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? We might live there, get old, and die there. Cause I love North Carolina, man. Charlotte, been there many times. Greensboro, went there a couple times. Of course, Durham. Shout out to Duke. I've been a Duke basketball fan since I was 12. Um, you know what I'm saying? Raleigh's one of my favorite cities ever. Any place I've been, Raleigh's one of my favorite cities. Wilmington, another one of my favorite cities. Yeah, so I've been around. I've been around up there. I know a lot about Wadesboro and all that. Wadesboro, a lot of small town, Laurenburg. Yeah, yeah. I've been through a lot of them little towns, man. Rayford, all that. Yep. Pray for Western North Carolina for sure, for sure, for sure. I donated my little chump change, man. I donated what I could to help them people, man. Because one place I never got to go in North Carolina when I was living there was Western North Carolina. I never went past Charlotte or Greensboro. I never went like to the mountains. He said I live near Winston Salem. Yep. Then I never been to Winston Salem. I've been to Greensboro, never been to Winston Salem. Yep. But shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. And I'm sure y'all seen the same thing. It was crazy. Like what I'm talking about with the whole homeless thing. Winston-Salem, I'm sure they're seeing very similar, especially if you're in a city with a Democrat mayor. It just is what it is. I'm talking about that too. I was talking about that too. I want to talk about that too. Politics when it comes to dealing with different issues in your city. Man, I am so tired of seeing especially believers, especially Christian Christ believers, right? Telling me or saying out loud, man, it shouldn't be about politics, when it comes to education and everything. It's always it shouldn't be about politics or whatever. Look, nothing gets done, right? When first of all, the government is what regulates all of this stuff, right? So we're talking about education, public education, that's run by the federal government, right? Which they oversee the Department of Education. Then you have your state watches over each state's public education, right? Then you have the city or the county, whatever system you got going on in where you live, right? We have a county system in Montgomery County schools. Nothing can be improved or made worse without the government's hand in it. It's impossible, right? When people say it's all about the kids, yes, that's very true. It is about the kids, right? But nothing gets done without the government. Politics is directly influencing education because it's public education run by who? The government. The government is literally politics. So people have got to I don't know what it is. I don't know why they can't like see that, but politics runs that, right? And then we're talking about public safety. We're talking about homelessness issue. You're looking at these different things are allowed to happen because the government allows it to happen, or if it gets taken care of, the government enforces certain laws or certain policies and whatnot, right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Let me tie something in real quick. Uh D on YouTube said, I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's going to hell in a handbasket. Totally unrecognizable and has been run into the ground by Democratic mayors since the 70s. Right? So I'm finna tie it in. So you go and you vote for certain people, right? You go vote for a mayor, city council, and all these people, right? You have a state legislator. They make laws, right? Now it's on your city to enforce the laws that the state has put into place. So when those law when let's go back in time, right? Back in time, during Jim Crow era, especially in the South, Jim Crow era, people love to bring that up. Well, why did people feel so emboldened to discriminate against other people based on color or whatnot? Why was that? It was because the law allowed it. Matter of fact, the law dictated it. It was on the books in black and white that you could tell a person of color you can't use this water fountain, right? Now, fast forward, then the law changed. To said you cannot discriminate against somebody by law. So then what happened? Is there anybody now, because the law is not there anymore, where have y'all, anybody person of color, right? Any person of color person, whatever y'all want to call yourself, have any of y'all been to a place, a restaurant or whatever, and they told y'all you got to take your but I'm gonna say the word because it don't mean nothing, but the N word. Did they tell you take your N back to the back of the building and eat outside? Have any of y'all had that happen? I don't think so, man. I know I've never been told that. I've never seen any of my friends get told that. I've never been told by any person that in my life that, yeah, I couldn't go drink out this water fountain. I couldn't go use that restroom. I couldn't go eat in that restaurant. The law is not on the books that allow somebody to do that. So they don't do it. Right? People do things based on what the law says. Generally speaking, not clearly, people break laws all the time, right? But when you have a law in the books, it just changes. It changes the culture of the situation to where uh, people tend to abide by laws. They tend to. That's why we make laws. That's why we make rules and regulations and we make policies. That's why when you go to a job, there are certain policies and procedures so that the vast majority of people will follow them and everything will be hunky dory, right? But when people go outside of the policy, you have issues, right? So what I'm saying is the politics part. Politics plays a pivotal role in creating order in society, in creating uh, respect for other people in society. The government and politics plays a pivotal role in that. If we were in anarchy and people could just do whatever they want to do, there's no laws, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have certain facets or certain factions of people who will create their own system of laws and government, right? Because people don't know how to live without having some type of order, right? The people in Seattle, when they had the whole Summer of Love thing in 2020, the mayor decided we're going to allow this group of people to create their own city within Seattle. And that's what they did, right? They created their own place. The police couldn't go there, fire rescue couldn't go there, EMS couldn't go there. No government body was allowed in that area. Guess what happened? It was anarchy for a bit, but guess what? The people within that area, they had certain individuals that said, you know what? We're going to be the new government body of this area. And so what they did was they had their workers and they created barriers. They had like a goon squad or whatever the case, like their police, where if people got out of line within that area, they would beat them up, rob them. They treated them like crap, right? But in that group, that was their police. They created their own system of order when there was no order, because human beings, we can't help but live by some kind of code, some kind of order, some kind of regulation, right? That we're equipped that way, right? It's why believers believe in God, because God creates borders and boundaries and order for our lives. As long as we stay in the boundaries of God and do what He wants us to do, and we're obedient, life is so much better. So anyway, tying that back to politics is so important. Politics is the conduit to getting order and making sure people are living the right way and doing what's right. And when your government is crooked and corrupt, you end up with failed school systems. You end up with failed police departments. You end up with more corrupt mayors and city council and all kind of everything goes to hell in a handbasket. Shout out to D. All right. That's what happens. That's why politics is so important. So stop talking about, well, I don't want to get involved with politics because politics is just messy and politics. Man, look, when you don't deal with it, when you don't want to play within the arena of politics to get things done, guess what happens? Nothing gets done. Nothing good gets done because that's the conduit to making sure there are checks and balances on situations. I mean, it's so simple, but yet people try to complicate it. They want to complicate it and make it seem like that's something, man. We need to what they say, we need separation. That's why it's a separation of church and state. Man, look, we I'm a believer, right? A lot of us are believers watching this live right now. God is the ultimate government. right? He's the ultimate government. What God wants and what he's called for, and it's in the Bible, is he wants the government to be godly and serve him. First and foremost, your God, your government is supposed to serve God, right? That's first and foremost. That's what God called for the government to do and for it to be. Now, when your government goes outside of God and gets ungodly, God said that you don't have to follow, you are actually called not to follow your government when they go outside of God. Mm. So people need to go back and realize we're supposed to be leading the government, right? We're here to guide the government. We elect our officials. Now there are a lot of people that they get appointed by elected officials. That's very true. But people like city council, mayor, governor, senators, state reps, president, we elect those people. Those people serve us. They work for us. We pay their bill. We pay their salary. You know what I'm saying? They're only there because we put them there. And then they're there to supposed to be serving us and doing what we would like for them to do in government, right? But when they do things outside of God, we're supposed to be the ones that call them out on that, and they're supposed to get back in line. That's how it's supposed to go. But people like a lot of these Democrat type of Christians, they'll say, "Man, personally in my life, I believe that a woman shouldn't kill her baby. That's my personal belief, right? But government wise, they should be able to tell a woman she can't have an abortion. They should, it's like what? Hold on a second. So you'll follow God so as long as it affects you. Like you'll follow him, but if another person says they'll do something anti-God, you're like, that's cool, whatever. Y'all do what y'all want to do. Like that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because again, if you're a believer, you don't want people to be living outside of God. Like you don't want that to happen. Right? And then the laws of the land, you definitely don't want the laws of the land to be outside of God because you're living within the laws of the land. Why would you want your laws to be outside of God? But you yourself, in your household, you're all about God. Makes no sense. None. I hear this all the time. It always blows my mind. I know it's coming. I already know they're gonna say it, but it's still it's like, do you hear what you're saying? Like, do you hear what you're how you riding on two horses? Right? I'm not even a Bible scholar. I'm not a Bible scholar, but I've read the Bible and the Spirit of God is in me. So when I see or hear somebody do something or say something, or I see the government doing something, I can discern whether that's something of God or not. Like, and if it's not of God, then look, I'm gonna probably push back on it. All right. And I'm gonna probably hear about it. And a lot of times I do. And it is what it is. Right? Don't no monkey stop no show. Let's see here. D said 100. Appreciate you. Shoemaker said, amen. Hey, man, I can't do anything but just be honest about this. I cannot do anything but be honest about it. I get so tired of people with all these excuses. They just I don't know, man. They talk out of both ends, or they talk out their mouth, and then they talk out they, you know what? It's just it makes no sense. It makes no sense, man. What time is it? I gotta get up off here in a bit, man. I've been on here for almost an hour. I'll tell y'all right now, man. Hey, what's funny is my my wife will be she jokes around with me because she'll say like, you finna go get on your live and do your show or whatever and be talking your head off. And it's funny because it's like she knows that I talk. I get on here, I talk. It's easy for me to just talk. or whatever on here and just express whatever it is I want to talk about. But like generally speaking, not outside my home, I tend to be a more quiet person. Like when I'm in a crowd of people, I tend not to be like just out there. I'm not a person that's like I want to be seen or heard everywhere I go and stuff like that. I don't care nothing about all that. Um, I've always been that way. I've always been like a background type person. I'd rather work in the background. Y'all get to shine, right? And I guess that kind of goes against like me getting on here and talking, and because like more people are accessible to my content, so it's like it's kind of it's fine for me though. I can talk like this. At first, this was weird. No lie. When I first started doing this in 2020, it was weird. It was very weird. I had to get used to it because it's odd to talk on the camera. But it's always funny though. If you talk to my kids or my wife, they'll tell you, man, the uh the guy that you see on camera a lot talking about serious stuff. I don't talk about serious stuff very much in my personal life. Like I'm a jokester, prankster. I prank my kids all the time. I joke with my kids all the time. We have roast sessions, right? I do roast my kids. I roast them. Yep, sure do. Um, you gonna learn. You gonna get some tough skin being around me. You gonna get joked on for real. Yeah. If they ain't doing it at school, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna roast you, right? You better be able to roast me back. You know what I'm saying? That's how we roll. But yeah, I'm a big joker, all that good stuff. But on here, I'm gonna talk about the real. I'm gonna speak about real issues, and I'm gonna call people out. They gotta be called out. It is what it is. People can call me out too if they think I'm off among what I'm saying. But what's funny is I find this very funny. People will have conversations with you on a post and they'll comment all day long, right? And I used to be back and forth with them, back and forth on, typing or whatever. But then I say, you know what? I got this little platform right here. What I'm gonna start doing is, which I did start doing. When people were going back and forth with me, I would just say, look, at a certain point, I can't keep going back and forth with you because now I'm having too many conversations online. It's just it gets like real tiring. That's why a lot of time I bow out on these conversations because it's too much, and I got other things to do. And so I say, you know what? Why don't you come on my show and we'll have a conversation. The conversation we're having right now, back and forth, we can have that like a face to face thing online, and that way you can hear me speak, I can hear you speak. We can react in real time, and we can respond to each other in real time, right? And every time I am undefeated. I am undefeated in this. Every time that we get to a conversation with somebody, I have this conversation and we're having a debate, and I throw her out, hey, come on my show and have a conversation with me. Every time they go on mute, they don't say another word. Conversation over with, right? I don't hear nothing. I don't hear another peep out of the person. I'm undefeated. Nobody wants to have a conversation out loud with somebody because I think number one, they don't know what they're talking about most of the time. They know they don't know what they're talking about, and two, they're probably insecure in themselves as far as really knowing what to say like that, right? And I'm not a know all be all person like that. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you I have no idea. I don't know the answer. But my thing is always been if you believe a certain thing, you should be able to express why you believe that certain thing. If you believe the sky is green, then you need to be able to explain to me why do you think the sky is green? When have you seen it be green? What time was it? Was it during the daytime, nighttime? Like what? Like you know what I'm saying? You should be able to explain that, not just say, "Man, it's green, man." I mean, man, you're a conspiracy theorist, man. It's green. That's not an argument. You know what I'm saying? Calling somebody else's name is not an argument. D said, as long as you can take as good as you give, then you'll be okay. Hey, straight. Hey, I can take it. I I definitely got no diddy. I can take it, no diddy. Um, like I got thick skin, so I done been called out, man. It's been crazy on this side of things. I can tell y'all that. I don't even speak on a lot of stuff, but man, some of these people out here are Insane, insane. But if they want to try something with me though, it ain't gonna be a good day for them. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's what they ain't done. They have not done nothing to me, and I ain't wishing that on myself. So somebody come try me like that, but nobody has tried me in person like that, and they best not. They best not just leave it online. We had a conversation. We got a conversation in person too. But that's all we're gonna do though. Let's not do nothing crazy. Let's not get rash, right? Because it is better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's for real. That's for real. But yo, man, I'm finna get up off of here. Um, y'all go back and watch the live if y'all missed it. I was talking about homelessness issue here in Montgomery, Alabama. A lot of places are seeing it, but I was talking more specifically to Montgomery, Alabama, to what's being done here, what isn't being done, what needs to be done. Uh, who makes up the homeless population in Montgomery? How do you deal with those individuals? And I was talking about the city, what the city is doing, what they're not doing. Mayor Reed doesn't care a thing about the city of Montgomery. He obviously doesn't care about the homeless people because he has not done anything to address them besides make a building called the Hub. I haven't seen a change in the amount of people out here on the streets. Everybody's still out here. The Hub has not done a thing, right? And it's been open for like 2 months, 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Anytime the government comes in to do something, they're not gonna be able to do it. Like government health care, don't matter what it is, it sucks, right? That's why you need private businesses. That's why you need nonprofits, churches. You have all these other organizations. They are good for this type of thing, for dealing with homelessness and whatnot. Which there are plenty of resources. We don't need any more nonprofits in Montgomery to deal with homelessness. There are a list of places that people can go. Straight up. D said, you don't frighten us. We're always up for a good conversation. Oh man. Who is we? Who is we? Who is we? You mean like you mean like people that are like online, or you mean like people that are like do videos and whatnot? I'm gonna wait for your response on that. Because I think you're talking about people like you're saying we're like they don't frighten us because we're willing to have a conversation with it, whereas they're not willing. And I'm gonna get up out of here in just a second. All right, appreciate you. It was nice meeting you. We subscribe. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, look, I'm gonna get up off of here. Thank y'all so much. This was another episode of the Captain's Quarters Show, where I am not afraid to rock the boat. And don't y'all forget it. I'm gonna see y'all next time, man. Y'all have a great rest of y'all Wednesday.